Thank you, friends. Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. It's certainly been a trying year, but take a look around and see the angels in your life. They bring you sunshine and love. They bring hope and renewal. They're your friends, your family, your children, your pets, your parents. They're all around you. Celebrate them, welcome them. Open your eyes, they're there. It's hard to believe almost a half a year is now over. What a year it's been. It opened with fires devastating Australia, the locust invasion of Africa, world pandemic blending right into protests, riots, looting, and a possible summer of love. And do not forget, we've been told that pandemic part 2 is still coming. And speaking of the pandemic, I see the World Health Organization has changed its mind several times about the asymptomatic spread of COVID. Of course, while that suggests the approach taken was maybe not the best, it still tells us that the more we know, the better we'll be able to handle future recurrences or new plagues. We constantly learn, my friends. We adapt, we change, we grow. And if we do not, we shrivel on the vine. And we're going through a period of reviewing, rethinking, reimagining, renaming, redefining. We're adding to or modifying the definitions of our lives. And what we may have once thought may soon be gone with the wind. But one thing that's never gone is the desire of community. So let's get together as a like-minded group in the collective consciousness of seekers showing faith and love, a community, a chavura fellowship, expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all. This community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing, bringing light, keeping fear at bay. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov, come together. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community, 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 together. Let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world, my friends. Remember, this is your setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in. It's part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It's your goodwill. Let's take some time now and send some of that goodwill, some light and some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. The world needs it, that's for sure. Healing and renewal for everybody. Floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know, for the souls and spirits of everyone you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people, my friends. It's for our pets. It's for the earth that is the healing of the world. The tikkun olam that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. So let's send out thoughts and energy for health and renewal for everybody in need. For those in our hearts and minds. For Dan, for Amy, for Udi, Bob, for Ryan, Terry, and Tally, for Chris, Wendy, for the bee. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit. And spirit, my friends, never dies. Shabbat Avotenu Bakor HaBracha Imotenu. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Mishaberach, let us all have our spirits renewed, because this is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as He is healed before. Mishaberach, may He who blessed, because all healing is a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now, it's interesting things that are happening this week. We ramp up to really begin the journey, and they don't know it yet. But this 11-day journey is going to take 40 years to complete, and they will go everywhere in the region. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Crossed the deserts bare, man. I've been the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. Oh, I've been everywhere. This week we read beha'alotcha, when you set up. Numbers 8:2. Speak to Aaron, and you shall say to him, when you set up the lamps, the 7 lamps shall shed light opposite the front of the menorah. Well, we know the lamps that he's talking about. What does this suggest? When we light a candle, we shed light on what's facing us so that we can see. Well, the 2 most iconic symbols of Judaism are the Star of David with its mirrored triangles, telling us as above, so below, and the menorah, the 7-branched candlestick, one for each day of creation, each day of the week, each visible planet to the ancient eye, each chakra, each path of the labyrinth, and by the light thrown by the flames of truth and faith and right and good and love and life, we can shed light on all the things that we face, all the things we confront, all the things we fear. Light will always be our friend. It's only when we live in darkness that we fear the light. This light will always be present in these people's lifetimes, leading the people to a new life. Numbers 10:11. It was in the 2nd year, in the 2nd month. On the 20th of the month that the cloud was lifted from over the tabernacle of the testimony. Well, there's a narrative symmetry that I'm sure you notice. The first Passover was celebrated just before the Israelites set out on their journey from Egypt. Now they're about to move onward from the Sinai encampment in their wilderness itinerary. And again, the departure is marked by the Passover offering. We had Passover in the desert, and you have never had Passover until you have it in the desert. There was a special dispensation for those who missed it, who get to do it a month later. The celebration of Passover was the seminal holiday in the Bible. The partaking in the Passover sacrifice is the primary act of affirming membership in the community of Israel. We see the consecration of the priesthood now, and how by the laying on of hands, Numbers 8:10, and you shall bring the Levites forward in front of the Lord, and the children of Israel shall lay their hands on the Levites. Just as the priest blesses the sacrifice by laying on of hands, just as a parent blesses his child, just as a rabbi still to this day is ordained, the power of touch, the energy we transmit through our fingers, the invisible but felt rays of healing, of warmth, of care, the power of touch. Oh yeah, I'll tell you something. I think you'll understand when I say that something. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. Now that song did more to change the course of music history than people realized. Now we get more insight into the glory of God as depicted in the cloud and fire. It's going to be with us for the whole rest of the journey now. When the cloud moves, the people move, and when it stays, they stay. Numbers 9:22. Whether 2 days or a month or a year, when the cloud would extend long over the tabernacle to tent over it, the children of Israel would camp and would not travel, and when it was lifted, they would travel. We now also see the creation of the silver trumpets, and they were sacred, and they heralded in key events. Numbers 10:9. And when you'll go to war in your land against a foe who afflicts you, you shall blast the trumpets. And you will be brought to mind in front of the Lord your God. And you will be saved from your enemies. And on your happy occasion, and at your appointed times, on your new moons, you shall blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over your peace offering sacrifices. It shall be for a commemoration for you in front of your God. I am the Lord your God. And the Torah ends, my friends, on the banks of the Jordan River, where one of the most famous stories of the Bible is about to take place. Joshua from the battle of Jericho. Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. Then the ram sheep horns began to blow, and the trumpets began to sound. Joshua told the children to show that moon, and the walls came tumbling down. So we know that those horns were used. Now we do not get the silver trumpets anymore, but we do get the blowing of the shofar, the ram's horn, during Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Next we get our first glimpse into attitudes, as the people become an unruly complaining mob. Numbers 11:1. And the people were like grumblers, bad in the Lord's ears, and God heard. And his anger flared, and a fire of the Lord burned among them and consumed at the edge of the camp. Some things, my friends, do not change, and some people are never satisfied. God provides 100% of everyone's needs here, but it's not enough. Okay, maybe I'm fed every day with no effort on my part, but I want something else. I miss some of the great stuff I got as a slave. Numbers 11:5. We remember the fish that we would in Egypt for free, the cucumbers and the melons, the leek and the onions and the garlics. And now our soul is dried up. There isn't anything except the manna before our eyes. I love it. They get it for free. Now, to satisfy and quell the complaints, God provides enough quail to make the people sick of it. Well, this generation had a slave mentality. How many of us have carried that through in each life we have lived? How many of us are still slaves? We end the Parsha and see the disease of sibling rivalry again, but in a new way, as Aaron and Miriam become jealous of Moses. Now we're led to believe it was about Moses being God's prophet. Why weren't they considered the same? But it was much more than this. Numbers 12:1. And Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses about the Cushite wife whom he had taken, because he had taken a Cushite wife. Now Cush is usually understood to be Ethiopia. On this understanding, Moses has taken an Ethiopian wife in addition to his first Midianite wife, Zipporah. Now, having a second wife isn't a big deal. We're talking biblical times. Zipporah's had a very small impact on things, so it's not due to everybody loving her. This means Moses has taken a black wife, and we may have our first reported discrimination in the Bible. And the underlying lesson is that Miriam and Aaron speaking against this wife is Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara, forbidden speech. Miriam's sin was gossiping. So why is it forbidden? It's negative speech. But according to Maimonides, anything which, if it would be publicized, could cause the subject physical or monetary damage, or could cause him anguish or fear, is Lashon Hara, forbidden speech. And it's Lashon Hara even if it's true, even if a listener pressures the speaker to tell, even if names are left out, even if it's about the speaker's own family or the speaker includes himself in the derogatory description, it is still forbidden speech. And listening to Lashon Hara is generally prohibited for two reasons. Number one, it's forbidden to accept or believe Lashon Hara. By listening to it, one might cause himself to believe it. The second is because by participating in it, the listener would be assisting the other participants to commit the sins of speaking and believing the gossip, the negative forbidden speech. Now, in the Pirkei Avot, the Ethics of the Fathers, an awesome book, it says, whoever engages in excessive talk brings on sin. Friends, when you listen, when you participate in gossip or any other form of Lashon Hara, three people are affected: the teller, the listener, and the subject. Do not be any one of the three. Gossip is destructive. And that's the lesson here. And in this case, it results in Miriam's punishment. She is deprived of all pigment, so that she can perhaps experience the same as Moses' Ethiopian wife. Numbers 12:10. And the cloud turned from over the tent, and here Miriam was leprous like snow. Miriam is left with skin blanching, in which her flesh is completely devoid of pigment. Now, if we understand correctly that the Cushite wife's Ethiopian, then this is a case of a punishment to fit the crime, and a powerful biblical statement regarding racism. It's as if God says to Miriam, you don't like a woman with dark pigmentation, then you don't have to have any pigmentation. Or if you don't like a woman who is black, try being completely white. Now this leads to the shortest prayer in the Bible. Numbers 12:13. Moses cried out to the Lord, saying, El na rafanala. God, please heal her, please. It should be isolated for the 7-day period before being brought back into the community. Numbers 12:15. And Miriam was closed up outside the camp 7 days. The people did not travel until Miriam was gathered back. People are not left abandoned, friends. They are healed and they are brought back. They are returned to the community. Yes, the world is sacred, so is everything in it. Express your gratitude. Light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone and end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we're a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally, so let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have and enjoy your journey. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all with a fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavanah, our cause, our effect, everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. Do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace, my friends, is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people, and the world as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. It is your home. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith and unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principles of love in all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all, honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year, and may you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand the heart, quiet the mind, because the deepest source of real power, my friend, lies in consciousness and the ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform the lives around you. You're never alone. You're forever blessed and have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Friends, your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. Be generous with them. Bless others and bless yourself. And love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and belief and what they mean to you, and never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together. We learn together. We help each other because we are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them. Tell them what they mean. Remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. Watch your words. They can hurt you, but they can heal you. They can imprison you, but they can free you. And keep forgiving those you need to forgive. And keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. And listen to the voice of God as he, she, it talks to you. Talks to you now, talked to you long ago on the mountain, telling you how easy it is to understand and how you never have to partake in jealousy, gossip, forbidden speech, the things that hurt us all. I know the reason that you talk behind my back. I used to be a money crier in with for such a fool to think I'd date or that with the one who tries to hide what he don't know to begin with. Now, thank you for joining me, my friends. No more gossiping. Be thankful, be gracious, be kind, be loving. And I'll see you all soon. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.